Beyond the textbook, unmasking the secret lives of famous historical figures. Before we begin, to support the channel, please like and subscribe. History often paints its heroes and villains in broad strokes: victorious generals, visionary scientists, iron-fisted rulers. But peel back the layers of legend, and you'll find a cast of characters far more fascinating. Real humans with quirks, scandals, and hobbies weirder than a cat in a top hat. Let's dive into the untold stories of 5 icons who were more than just their Wikipedia summaries. Queen Victoria, 1819 to 1901. The Mourning Monarch with a side of sass. Queen Victoria is remembered as the stern-faced widow in black, ruling an empire where the sun never set, and apparently neither did her frown. But behind the solemn portraits was a woman who could roast you faster than a Sunday goose. The love story and the gossip. Victoria's marriage to Prince Albert was the 19th century equivalent of a rom-com montage, picnics, matching diaries, and gushing letters where she called him an angel. When he died, her grief was so epic it sparked a national mourning fashion trend. But don't mistake her for a weepy damsel. She once scolded a prime minister for being too tall and described a politician's speech as dreadful bother. Secret hobbies. Dog portrait. Connoisseur, Victoria commissioned paintings of her beloved pets, including Dash, a spaniel who once stole a bishop's wig. Opera rebel. She secretly adored Italian opera, sneaking off to performances despite deeming them frivolous for a widow. Controversial friendships. Her bond with Scottish servant John Brown had tongues wagging about a secret marriage. Later, her close ties to Indian attendant Abdul Karim, whom she called her Munshi teacher, ruffled feathers in a racist court. Rumor has it, she even tried to knight him. Spoiler, the aristocracy shut that down faster than you can say colonial awkwardness. Fun fact, Victoria's genes were the ultimate party crashers. She passed hemophilia to royal families across Europe, earning it the nickname the Royal Disease. Thanks, Grandma. Leonardo da Vinci, 1452-1519, the illegitimate genius who couldn't sit still. Leonardo da Vinci, painter, inventor, anatomist, and history's most overqualified procrastinator. While most know him for the Mona Lisa's smirk, his real life was a chaotic mix of unfinished projects, catgut experiments, and left-handed doodles. The ultimate outsider. Born to a peasant mum and a dad who shrugged, no last name for you, Leonardo was barred from formal education. So he became a self-taught Renaissance man, dissecting corpses illegally, sketching flying machines, and writing 13,000 pages of notes backward. Why? Maybe to confuse snoops, or just because he could. Quirks and scandals. But a dexterous overachiever, he could write with one hand and draw with the other. Try that during your next Zoom meeting. Shopping list oddities. His grocery lists included catguts for lute strings and rose water for ambiance. Love, life mysteries. Historians suspect he was gay, citing his close bonds with male apprentices like Salai, a troublemaker who stole his heart and his cash. Fun fact, Leonardo once designed a robotic knight for a Milanese duke's party. It could sit, stand, and wave, making it the world's first TikTok dance. Marie Curie, 1867 to 1934, the glowing scientist who defied scandals. Marie Curie, Nobel Prize queen, radiation pioneer, and the reason your dentist makes you wear a lead apron. But behind her lab coat was a woman who laughed in the face of scandal, literally. Love and loss. After her husband Pierre died tragically, Marie carried on their work, hauling radioactive rocks in her pockets like they were breath mints. When her affair with married physicist Paul Langevin exploded into tabloid fodder, angry mobs threw stones at her house. Her response? Show up to her second Nobel ceremony anyway. Mic drop. Mum mode. She raised 2 daughters while isolating radium in a leaky shed. Her eldest, Irene, later won her own Nobel Prize, proving science genes are stronger than Wi-Fi passwords. Radioactive legacy. Marie's notebooks are still so radioactive they're stored in lead boxes. Want to read them? Sign a waiver and suit up like you're tackling a nuclear burrito. Fun fact, she once attended a fancy dinner with glowing hands thanks to radium exposure. Who needs candlelight? Thomas Jefferson, 1743 to 1826, the founding foodie with a side of hypocrisy. Thomas Jefferson, author of All Men Are Created Equal, owner of 600+ slaves, and America's original food blogger. His life was a contradiction smoother than his famous mac and cheese. The slavery paradox. Jefferson called slavery a moral depravity, but kept enslaved workers at Monticello, including Sally Hemings, who bore him children. DNA confirmed the relationship, but power dynamics muddy the waters. Consent isn't exactly on the menu when you're someone's property. Culinary adventures. Mac and cheese MVP. He brought the recipe from France, along with vanilla ice cream. Thank him at your next potluck. Wine snob. His cellar held 20,000 bottles. Let's just say the founding fathers partied harder than a frat house. Quirky habits. Mockingbird DJ. His pet bird Dick perched on his shoulder, chirping while he wrote the Declaration of Independence. Take that, lo-fi beats. DIY architect. He designed Monticello with a dumbwaiter for wine and a bed wedged between 2 rooms so he could roll into work. Fun fact, Jefferson's grave lists father of the University of Virginia, but not president. Empress Dowager Cixi, 1835 to 1908, the concubine who bossed China. Empress Sass, Dowager Cixi, from lowly concubine to ruthless ruler, with a flair for gardening and photo ops. She kept China's throne on lockdown for 50 years, mixing tradition with the occasional Western gadget. Power plays. Coup d'etat queen. She ousted regents, poisoned rivals, and played court factions like a chess grandmaster. Modernizer, sort of. She built railroads and posed for photos but nixed elections. Baby steps, right? Secret artist. Peking opera fanatic. She scripted plays, designed costumes, and demanded encores. Move over Broadway. Japson garden guru. Her chrysanthemum gardens hid symbols of power. Think Alice in Wonderland meets Machiavelli. Fun fact, Cixi's skincare routine included nightly rubs with pearl powder. Glow-up goals indeed. Conclusion, why their secrets matter. These figures weren't marble statues, they were messy, brilliant, and utterly human. Victoria's wit, Leonardo's catgut obsessions, Marie's radioactive defiance, Jefferson's cheesy hypocrisy, and Cixi's floral power plays remind us that history's giants put their pants on one leg at a time. Unless you're Leonardo, who probably designed a pulley system for it. So next time you see a stern portrait or a dusty textbook quote, remember, behind every great person is a secret life full of scandals, snacks, and questionable hobbies. And honestly, that's way more fun. If you enjoyed our content, Please like and subscribe. Please visit our sponsor, threadsofrebellion.com, and use the coupon code in the description for an exclusive discount.